Hello everyone, welcome to Move Well, Live Well. We get a number of people that come in here who are athletes and they're looking to find another exercise for their biceps. And traditionally, when they're exercising their biceps, is exercises that involve flexion of the elbow in this fashion, like this. So flexion of the elbow. Now, the biceps, so they're either doing them like this with dumbbells or barbells is primarily what they're doing when they're exercising the bicep. Now remember, the bicep crosses two joints. It crosses the elbow joint and the shoulder joint. So it is involved, yes, it's involved in elbow flexion, which is the primary way that the bicep works, but it also is involved in a little bit of shoulder flexion like this. So elbow flexion as well as shoulder flexion is another movement that the bicep allows you to do. Another one too, another movement is also supination. So it allows you to supinate your forearm. So what it does this. I don't know if you can see it on me here, but when I turn my thumb outward, you can see, let's go this way, you can kind of see my bicep contract here, just like this. So it's a powerful supinator of the forearm. See that? Boom, just like that. So those are the three primary actions of the bicep. Again, you have elbow flexion, shoulder flexion, and forearm supination that allows the bicep, allows you to do those three moves. The bicep allows you to do those moves. So, however, there is an exercise that I often don't see people doing here. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you that particular exercise. It's called the Pelican Curl. And I'm going to show you here in just a second. So here I am in the power rack here. And in this exercise, with this exercise, you're going to need some suspension trainers. You can use rings as well, but I have some suspension trainers here. This is what's going to be required in order for you to do this particular exercise, the Pelican Curl. So I have them set up right here, and the setup is simple. You know, just maybe shoulder width or a little bit wider than shoulder width is where you're going to have your device. And I have the handles here at arm's length. So I basically can hook my hand around the handles at arm's length if my hands are at my side. So that's kind of like your starting position. Okay, so here I am going to do the Pelican Curl. Right now I'm pretty much square with the straps. I'm at arm's length here with the handles. And I usually recommend folks to kind of start with about a step forward. So I'm going to take one step forward like this. And then you're going to start with your hands, your arms like this, like as if you're going to do a bench press. And you're in this position here like you're going to do a bench press or a dumbbell press. And you're going to clench your butt cheeks, you're going to tighten up the abs, and you're going to slowly extend backwards, like you're going to reach behind you, like this. So this is your starting position here. So this is your starting position for the Pelican Curl, and then that's all you do is you curl. So here you are, your arm is in, your shoulder is in shoulder extension, your biceps are also in extension, and now you're curling here, just like that, boom. And then you're back to your, like you're gonna do a bench press or dumbbell press like that. And then again, you stand out like this. I'm going into supination like that. And then I'm gonna do a curl, boom, like this. Keeping it nice and controlled. And I'm back to my, like I'm gonna do a bench press, dumbbell press, like that. So I'm here like this. You can see my arms. And my hands, they're in kind of like a neutral position here. I'm tightening up my abs, I'm clenching the butt cheeks, going to like a little bit of a posterior pelvic tilt, tightening up the legs for stability. And then I'm reaching somewhat behind me like this. Boom. Now my shoulder is an extension as well as an elbow extension. And then I'm gonna curl, just like that. Boom. So, that's what I usually have people start with, is taking, again, so taking from where you're at, where your start position is, you're going to take a step out from your suspension trainer or rings, just a step out, and this is your start position, like you're going to do a bench press, okay? And then again, you're going to slowly supinate like this while your arms are behind you. This is the eccentric portion right here. So now your shoulders are in extension as well as elbow extension, like that. And then you're going to do a curl, boom. And you finish off like you're going to do a bench press dumbbell curl, or dumbbell, not dumbbell curl, but dumbbell press, just like that. The farther you are away from the suspension trainer in general, the farther you are from the suspension trainer, the easier it's going to be to do your exercise. But I usually like to tell folks to start with a one step out, because then you can be in that like bench press starting position, come out like this, and then do a curl, and then you're back to that bench press, dumbbell press position. The closer your feet are towards the suspension trainer or rings, the closer your feet are here, the more difficult, the more you're lean. So then now you start again in the bench press, dumbbell press, and then you're going to come like this, and the more you're going to lean forward, and it's going to be more difficult to do the curl. Now I'm almost horizontal here to do this curl. See that? And you're going to get a lot more shoulder, chest involvement while you do the curl, the closer your feet are to the suspension trainer. So once again, the farther you are from the suspension trainer, the easier it's going to be. And sometimes beginners start with maybe a step and a half, and they just kind of start in here just like this to start with. So that way it helps with their shoulder mobility if they don't have great shoulder mobility yet. Starting farther away from as your body's more vertical, starting farther away from the suspension trainer, it helps with that mobility in the shoulder. And then over time, they can get closer and closer to the suspension trainer, increase that range of motion as they get closer and closer to the device. So again, I usually have folks start with a step forward just like this, and then you're in that, like you're going to do a bench press type of push or a push up, and then you're supinating your hands and having your elbows behind you, going into shoulder flexion and shoulder extension and elbow extension, and then you're doing your curl here, just like that. Just like that. The closer you are to the suspension trainer, the closer your feet are, the more forward lean you're going to have, and then the more difficult you're going to start again in this, like you're going to do a bicep, not a bicep curl, but a push-up or a dumbbell press, just like that. And then you're supinating, extending the elbow and shoulder, and then you're going to curl. Boom. And you're back to that position here. See that? So more difficult, the closer your feet are here to the suspension trainer. The less difficult it is, the farther your feet are away from the suspension trainer. So if you don't, like again, if you don't have mobility in your shoulder or elbow yet, start here and work on the mobility of your shoulder and elbow. And over time, you're going to be able to go farther and farther back and do those curls where you're almost pretty much horizontal to the floor. So anyway, this is a fantastic body weight exercise for the bicep that a lot of people don't do. Traditionally, you know, like I said, they do curls in this fashion with a dumbbell or barbell. They'll do preacher curls in through here, that type of thing, having their arm on on a bench or a preacher device, and they're missing a lot of that extension. Remember the bicep, man, the shoulder is the most movable joint in the body, and remember the bicep helps stabilize the shoulder as well as involved in shoulder flexion. So let's work it in that full range. This is a great body weight exercise that concentrates on the bicep, especially that eccentric motion of the bicep. So again, let's do it one more time. The Pelican Curl. Starting here, I usually recommend you start out with just one step forward from the device. And then you're gonna start in that, like you're gonna do a bench press or push up right here, just like that. And then you're gonna supinate your hands like this. And your arms are gonna be behind you like this. You're gonna go into shoulder extension, elbow extension, just like that. And then you're gonna curl, boom. And finish out like you're gonna do a push up, bench press, dumbbell press, just like that. Anyway, we thank you for watching. We appreciate it. If you're new to this channel, hit subscribe, and when you hit subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification button, because that'll keep you in the loop with subsequent videos coming here in the future. That way you can continue to move well and live well. Also, I know you know folks who are in an exercise program, have started an exercise program, or they're advanced trainers like what we see sometimes here in our office, and they're looking to add a little bit of intensity into their workouts. Show this to them. Sharing is caring. That way they can add this exercise into their repertoire of exercises and get the full benefit of what your bicep can do by adding this body weight exercise. I don't see a lot of people doing it, so more than likely you aren't either. So share this with them. Sharing is caring. Also, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. It lets us know that you care. Anyway, we thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.